Me after I rode Pinocchio's nose while he was calling me pretty and his nose kept growing in me. If anyone sees me liking this, it's because it's relatable, not because it's funny. Amazon says it was not price gouging during the pandemic when it sold toilet paper for $36. That photo of Bezos looks like an artist recreation from the found bones of an ancient ruler. Who remembers this banger? If he drew an H on his forehead, Kobe would have survived. Christian looks like the kind of a guy that would romance your rich great aunt, marry her, take her on a cruise and lose her at sea. I love you, Lizzie. Your eyebrows look like they are trying to divorce the rest of your face. I tried to tell you all, this by Martiniversary sale is just crazy. $5 bags of Seattle's best coffee. If you don't think that's a deal, you probably smell like rotten ginkgo fruit. Male humpback whale crossed 3 oceans for X, inadvertently breaking distance record for species. Must be some damn good whalers. See. For extra cash, consider robbing extras. Their address is easy to find and they can't own guns. That's not true. Politicians have loads of security. Feel like he's the one Marvel character who should never be playable in a video game. Okay, but Red Skull having a percentage bonus damage to minorities passive would go hard though. There is always someone in your family who probably gives absolute insane, literally never know. Fly high grandpa used to give a best denture. Giant firework in Japan. They have seen bigger. They literally voted for tariffs to lower inflation. That's how effing dumb they are. We don't import food. We import almost $200 billion in food a year. Seriously, did you not even bother to look this up first? Lex leans into the mic to say, would, if I were obsessed with saying LGBTQ people are zoolizing children, I would probably not publicly zoolize my own child. Looks like it belongs on the cover of a bootleg copy of Just Dance. You really can't make any slip-ups as a parent. Human development is crazy. Like, you can tell your kid your art looks stupid and 20 years later they have to dress like a German Shepherd during X. German Shepherd. There are worse instances of someone being told they're a bad artist. What are good professions for people that hate people? Night audited at a hotel. Even on night like tonight where we are sold out, I have seen a handful of people since midnight, except for the occasional comes to the front desk at 1 AM insisting you tell them where to go to get pills. Like, bro, I may be snorting lines to stay awake, but I'm sure as she not giving up my hard-earned dealer's number to you. Elon's purchase of Twitter was the single most consequential act of the last decade. It restored free speech, broke the Overton window and enabled the Second American. Be it didn't douchey, you literally still call it Twitter. What's the wildest insult you have read on here? You have 2 brain cells and both fighting for 3rd place. A serious country would never allow its people to eat their way into government-funded disability payments. A serious country would never nominate a file for Attorney General, yet here we are. We see Starlight's whole bear in the last season. You mean her no way? If you're it's fine, but you don't have to go announcing it unprompted like that. I have seen thicker cast survivors. Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense has made a solemn promise to quit drinking if confirmed to the position. I promise to sober up if you put me in charge of the largest military in the history of mankind is hilarious. What music do you listen to? The sound of your mother screaming sped up in reverse. Why would the Grim Reaper need a scythe if he can chill people by just touching them? Because he is the Grim Reaper and he needs a scythe to reap. Otherwise he would be known as the Grim Toucher, and that might get him on a list. America's airlines are introducing a class below economy. Brokers F now boarding. I repeat, brokers F now boarding. The first human received an implant from Neuralink yesterday and is recovering well. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection. The same people who have spent years losing their minds over the conspiracy theory that the contains a microchip idolize a guy who is literally implanting people with microchips. The best thing about the amazing atheist is that having no idea who he is, he looks and acts exactly like you would expect him to by name alone. Tommy Tuberville. The people of Alabama gave a referendum to me. They said you vote for whatever Donald Trump wants. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Now you see why Alabama ranks 45th in education. You guys are so pro-life until it's living breathing human who needs healthcare. Pete Davidson doesn't want to be known. That's the perfect description of him. He's self-aware at least. What else has he done really? A likable guy on SNL. He's like the modern day Sandler if Sandler had no hit movies. Girls I like versus girls that like me. And who the F said I liked you? New poster for Snow White in theaters on March 21st. It's insane that even in the poster Gal Gadot looks like she cannot act. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never go woke. I'm sure of that. To be woke requires awareness and enlightened mind, exposure to different cultures and different types of people. It requires maturity to realize that not everyone looks like you or thinks like you, and that's okay. Woke is an antonym of ignorance. Imagine being that one Thanos that loses. Doctor Strange said 1 out of millions. There's infinite universes, so that means infinite Thanos lost and infinite Thanos won. If there's infinite, then there's a universe where they all come together and lack in a circle. Great job on that 0 seconds of walking you just did. Surely this doesn't convince anyone. Sullivan is lying to himself if he thinks scraping a lucky win against Wolves is any indication that things will improve. No, he's thinking we are almost halfway to 40 points with less than half the season played. Good enough for that she-goblin. Why does he stand like a centaur but without the horse part? Superman is a country boy from a rural Kansas town. Does anyone honestly believe he wouldn't have voted Republican? Pictured Superman defending immigrant children from rapists. I'm not boycotting anything for a third world country. You bees have no public health care, no police to protect you. Your kids are more likely to lie school than in a car accident, are globally known for being effing stupid and insufferable. Who the F is the third world country? If you think conservatives are then you don't know much about history. Today's conservatives are as close to nazism as 8th grade basketball is to the NBA. So literally playing the same sport, but they are just incompetent at it. I agree. There's an old saying, no good place to stand during a or war. I put my in a sock and slammed it against the furniture. Healthy societies don't lionize vigilante chillers. A healthy society doesn't let people lie because they can't afford their insulin. Look what I bought for my garden. Did you really wait till 4:20 to send this? Yes, Mom. You are not funny. You can't make jokes. I made you. Recycling is pointless. How is someone who's supposed to be so smart such an idiot? Motor oil is recycled, scrap metal is recycled, cardboard is recycled, rubber is recycled. Half the shit on those stupid cyber trucks have recycled material. Let me dump all my trash at your place then. What are some strange f***s you have deleted? This is a spin-off or fan manga. Does anyone know the name? Dude, this is ton. Flashback. Remember when Australia was just as free as America, only with weird accents? That ended when they rounded up all the guns like they did in Germany. We are still free and also free of lootings. Let's make Starfleet Academy real. First step. Support a leader that embodies Starfleet values like diversity, inclusion and ethical behavior. I put on a mask and literally within seconds I'm struggling to breathe. The surgeon who wore a mask for 6 hours to reconstruct mine, he thinks maybe you're lying and also a drama queen. I went into Stellar. Didn't even rhyme, bro, just wanna tell us something. KSI's bloodline really owe our ears an apology. Unhappy wife tried to file a case against her husband, but he sang a romantic song in police station to convince her. Bro sang out for half his property. One of the fictional kids I wanna smack. I don't know, I wanna smack the out of Caillou so hard that it rotates Earth and hits him from behind as stage 5. Tangled star Zachary Levi says his support for Donald Trump hasn't cost him jobs in Hollywood. I have yet to see what the ultimate effects of all that are gonna be. Probably because he didn't have any to begin with. And I thought he was going to discuss his theory of relativity. You know, this man's lived in NYC forever. You should see my stock portfolio if you want to get even more triggered. Nothing says look at me, I'm rich like sending the picture of someone who's had 11 bankruptcies posing in a rented room. Dude's so white and handsome he could have been a propaganda poster for the third Reich. When I was a child no one was autistic, vegan, gluten-free or confused about their gender. What changed? When I was a child all the food in the refrigerator appeared there for free, I didn't pay anything at all. What changed? Meet actress who is recruiting 1,000 men to have sex in 24 hours. Record-breaking event of the year. Netflix. Are you still watching Someone's Daughter? If you could age any liquid instead of, then what would it be? The cure for cancer. Each large muscle of a bodybuilder represents a language he didn't learn, a poem he didn't read, a fun fact he never memorized. Thucydides said that the society that separates its scholars from its warriors will have its thinking done by cowards and its fighting by fools. However, you appear to be both a fool and a coward. Trump tells Time he's not sure he can get the price of groceries down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. You know it's very hard. Bringing down the price of gas and groceries was the entire premise of his campaign. How many times have we heard, man, I know he's a bad guy but I just want to afford things again. If he can't bring down prices then what the F is he even here for? Having zero body count at 18 is a big red flag. Tweeting like this is the biggest red flag on earth. Grow up. John Fetterman tells Maher that near-death experience freed him to speak out, says progressivism left me. Brain damage made me conservative. Thank you Fox News. The person that called the police is a hero in my book. Your book has 4 pages in large font. The United Health CEO is as powerless as anyone. If he did what people wanted he would be out of a job. Everything you hate about health insurance can be traced back to one man. Why are we paying powerless men $10 million a year? Don't forget to feed your girlfriend every couple hours or it gets cranky. It, you mean she, seems someone forgot to feed this one. Support the family of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He's looking up at us right now. Happy Father's Day, Oni-chan. Osi. I don't want to sound ungrateful with the work you do, but you look pre-rendered. Name something invented by the Germans without googling. They invented a lot of things without googling. When meeting another man you need to be assuming he is happily married to a wife and they have multiple kids. For example, how long have you and your wife been married? How many kids do y'all have? How's homeschool going for y'all, or do you send them to a Christian school? Or hear me out, you can just get to know people instead of being a weirdo. Gen Z is too afraid to ask a waiter for extra ketchup but will body slam a cop. We respect those who actually serve. Bruh. If you don't have any friends you're not introvert, you're a problem. If you think being an extrovert gives you the right to bash introverts for not having friends then you are not an extrovert. You are an atrovert. WIP merchant cosplay. Sir, were you in New York recently? The team working on Grok. Why would you, as the guy who works on the recently launched product, wear a hat announcing that your product must be made great again? It's funny how after the birth of a baby announced declare that mother and baby are doing fine. What about the father? Fathers don't usually lie during childbirth.
Spare change. Spare change, ma'am.